one of the things I look at is what do I want to see happen in 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, and what are the seeds I can plant now? Because New Year's Day is every day.
Hey, I'm Ronja Sakata, founder of the Joy Academy and Queen of Joy. That's how my friends call me. It's so important to me that my life is full of joy and that I enjoy every moment because I know how fast it could be over. We can do so many things to bring joy in our lives, to create joy, and that's what this podcast is all about. I talk with people and they tell me how they bring joy to their everyday life and how they create a life full of joy. So let's dive right in, and please tell me after the episode what your takeaway is from this talk. Welcome to this episode, Kevin Laylor. I'm so happy finally seeing you again. We met 2 years ago, a little over 2 years ago, in California at the event of Brandon Bouchard. And you invited me to your circle of friends to spend my last evening in America then. And it was such a cool dinner. And afterwards, it was just a blessing to spend time with you. And I'm so happy to talk to you for the podcast today. And my first question, as always, is who are you? What do you do? What brings you joy? And how do you create joy in your everyday life, in the normal, maybe just, not boring, but like the normal life? How do you bring joy in there? And just start and we go from there.
Sounds good. Thank you. And I appreciate you having me here on the podcast. And let me preference before I start and tell everybody when I met Ronja at the Brendan Bouchard 2 years ago, 2018, let me just say there was a presence to her. I've met a lot of people at a different events, as big as Tony Robbins events, and just come across a lot of people. But when I met this one, her energy was there was some you could tell people were gravitating towards her. You could tell joy was a default for her. So much where I just, as she mentioned, invited her in. It wasn't even a thought of, I wonder if we should invite her in. It was just like, I have to have her come with us because this type of energy felt rare in this days and time though. So you are definitely in for a treat to be in her world and the people she brings on for these interviews. So let me just preface.
You're so kind. Thank you so much. That means a lot to me, really.
You're welcome. You're welcome. And to jump right in, who am I? I am simply a giver to people, and my sign's a Pisces. So if anyone knows anything about astrology, Pisces are the givers of the zodiac. So my oxygen comes from seeing other people win. Partly, as you can see, I love sharing what I just shared about Rania. I love inviting her and bringing people together. There's a thing about connecting people together and watching the beauty of people congregate and come up with ideas, aha moments, friendships. Like that is the ripple effect that I want to be a part of. So I'm just a giver, facilitator of connecting people and just seeing what happened. I love watching, sitting back and watching people come together and just seeing the magic unfold. Just like right here, me and you, we met and now here we are talking. The things that we can do when we come together, it amazes me. So that's who I am. I'm a giver and I love bringing people together. And what I do specifically, I'm a life coach. And again, I like seeing other people win. And in my business, I specifically like seeing life coaches win. And the reason why I like to see life coaches win, because those who care about their craft want to impact the well-being and performance on others to do their best in the world. You know, imagine Mark Zuckerberg and the impact he had from any type of life coaching. Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos. Like, I don't know if they have coaches or not, but you never know who's in someone's corner, giving them a word, an advice, a question that sparks some type of happiness, joy, new perspective for them to do better and create in the world. And I believe life coaches have that ability to have that impact on so many out there. And that's what I do in my business.
And
And
it's again the ripple effect. Like if you help
yes,
life coaches, they help people, and it's so beautiful.
yes. And I know I can't do it alone. So I am more than happy. Again, I'm a giver. I want to see life coaches win. I want to see them own their craft. I want to see them so happy about. Imagine going to a bakery and seeing the joy of someone baking the cake, walking in, they're singing, they're putting the ingredients together, welcoming you in, offering you a sample. There is just an energy around people who have joy around their craft that you like, oh my God. And even if it wasn't that great tasting of a cake, somehow the joy of that person would actually impact, like, this was actually pretty good. I really do believe that the joy of other people will have people looking for the opportunities to see the good in something. And I want to do that for life coaches, see the good in your craft and what you can do for others so that the impact has a ripple. Hence part of the reason why I love connecting people in general. You just never know what opportunity comes from that.
And what brings you joy? You partly said that now in what you do, and that's a beautiful thing. If you do something which brings you joy, that's just the best thing ever. If work is
It
not
is.
feeling like work, or yeah, but what other things are bringing you joy?
Other things that bring me joy, watching my son, that brings me joy clearly. As much as he can be a pain in the butt for us parents out there, kids, and their ways. I have a 7-year-old at this time, and there's just something to be learned in watching them grow. I find myself very reflective in my parenting and who I'm being because he's not really listening to what I'm saying. He's watching what I'm doing. And that puts me on alert in terms of how I get to show up, and that kind of ripple effects though. So it actually makes me happy in a way to have this awareness to watch him, see myself, see the impact. There used to be a time where he would say, Daddy is too busy. Like, that crushed me when I heard that. Now I have him grabbing for my attention. Daddy, let's play a game. Let's play a game. And that tells me that I did something good to have him wanting my time, and that brings me joy just to know, because he's not going to be, I'll never get him back at 7. I'll never get him back at 6 or 5. So to create this memory for him in terms of his childhood, like, yeah, dad actually used to play with me and do this and do that. That brings me a lot of joy because I know a lot of us don't have maybe the happiest of childhoods or created thoughts from our childhood. And I really find joy in knowing that any moment I give to him, he gets to ripple affect that out onto others as he grows up. And again, it's the same principle. Again, me connecting, like what I do for him, his ripple effects. I just get to be a part of that fun, joy, happiness, and I'm just grateful for that opportunity.
And of course, like having a child and a good relationship is the best thing ever. But
Yes.
being a parent is just one hat you have in your you now were talking about your business hat and your family hat. What
Hmm.
else? Like more joy.
Okay.
Tell us about more joy in your life. I know you have a ton of other things which bring you joy.
I mean, if I were to go down a list of things that bring me joy, happiness, I enjoy cooking. I have a recipe that I made, I think, 15 years ago called a chocolate mudslide cake. And it was by accident. Um, my mom, when she was alive, she used to take me and my brother to Jamaica, And one time she brought us back and we brought a whole case of rum, I think 12 bottles of rum back from Jamaica. And she gave me a bottle. And I was like, I don't drink like this. So what do I do? So I thought I'd put it in a cake recipe, like rum cake. That sounds good. I've heard about rum cake. Didn't turn out so well the first time. And then I was like, okay, what can I do? One of my favorite drinks is called a White Russian, which is Kahlua, Bailey's, and Irish cream. So I decided to look up a recipe online. How do I make that type of cake? I didn't find anything. So my first attempt was like, well, I guess I'll just replace the water with the alcohol. Made it.
Okay.
It tasted amazing. Brought it to a potluck at my job at the time. It was so good that my coworker sitting next to me says, "How much for me to buy one for Christmas?" I was like, $40. Done. Made one the next couple of days. And from there, I have been offering chocolate mudslide cakes. And I have yet for anyone to say, this is bad. And I just enjoy creating those. So being able to create a cake, chocolate mousse-like cake, and have that in my back pocket, like that's fun to me. Like that is just fun. Hey Kevin, can you get me a cake? Oh yeah, sure. Love putting that together. Other things that bring me joy, music, specifically like chill music. There's just I can get in my head just like anyone else. Days overwhelming. Kid needs more attention than I have patience for. And what I'll do is I'll listen to some chill music that just drops me out of my head, and I just go somewhere else. And when going somewhere else and just listening to the vocals, that really just lightens me up, um, and just brings me back in tune with what's present around me. Like every day, like if I were to have a big event, you will hear music that I've been listening to for probably the past 20 years. And that's how deep it is in terms of music and its impact on me to shift me out of being frustrated or overwhelmed to just being very chill, mellow, and able to just enjoy the moment. So there's that. And I mean, outside of meeting people like yourself, like meeting people is my oxygen, truly. And right now we're in the pandemic and I feel like I'm suffocating. So I just really want to be around people and just see the interaction. So I can't wait for us to kind of get back out to global travel to meet each other, meeting other people, connecting with other people. And lastly, that comes to my mind is just being out in nature, taking daily walks. I might take up to a 2 hour walk, headphones on. And while I'm listening to music, I'm just looking into the sky, the trees, cars going by, people, and just appreciating life, though. So these are the simple things. I love simple, simplified, but they really do put me in a place of peace. And when I'm at peace, I get to have joy around what else is happening around me. Like I'm not triggered by anything. I can see the joy in my son. I can see the joy in people interacting. I can find the joy in the music I'm listening to. I can find joy in the work that I'm working on, all from these little bits of acts that brings me out of my head.
So out of your head to your heart or your soul, or what is it? Like in the head there is.
Yeah, so getting out of my head and into my heart. Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
So cool. You already gave so many actionable steps. Like, do you have a Kevin Laylor playlist we could
I
hitchhike?
don't. I don't. I thought about putting one together. If I do put a playlist, I will send it over to you, and I can definitely recommend music in terms of just transporting you away. When you're just in that state where I just need to slow down, I can definitely put something together to offer to the audience here when I
That
need
would
to
be
listen to
so
something.
cool because our episode is now on. It's New Year just
Yes.
started 2021, like a new start. It would be so cool to have your playlist to just cruise into this new year.
So I will do that. I will have a at least a 10-song minimum playlist for the audience for the new year, so that if there's any time where you just need to slow down, take a break, and have something to listen to, know that, Kevin recommended to slow down, be present, and find the joy in the moment versus what is frustrating you. Listen to, we'll just call it the joy playlist, the joy playlist of music that could either slow you down or bring happiness to
Let's
you. Like,
do
again,
that.
yes, I will do that. That is on my list now. Thank you for that.
So cool. And
Yes.
I know you attended like every Brandon Bouchard event. I'm so jealous that you can, or you went. I don't, yeah, now they're
Hmm.
off, they're canceled too, but like planning is a big thing of him, and the new year just started. How do you, and now 2020, all my plans went away and I had to cancel everything. Like, how would you plan for 2021? What is your like intention for next year, for 2021? How do you plan and still be flexible, or how do you approach this new
Hmm.
year, like a new chance? I say you don't need a new year for changing your life. You can change when whatever day.
Yeah.
But
Hmm.
even though I think that the new year is something symbolic and powerful, and what would be your advice to for approaching 2021 with an open heart, and like planning but not too much, and being flexible but with intention, like this balance? How,
Yes.
what do you say about that?
And I 100% agree with you. I'm not a big fan of New Year's resolution and being a part of the crowd of following through, trying to follow through. My thought process is, instead of planning in the new year, plant throughout the year, because any day is an opportunity to start planting the seeds for what you want to change. So one of the things that I am working towards in 2021 is to hold my first event. And that starts with planting seeds today with the people that I connect with, not on New Year's, I'm going to start talking to people and start telling them about my event. I feel that would be too late for something. Why wait? That is the question when I come up to New Year's. Why wait? So, one of the things I look at is, what do I want to see happen in 3 months, 6 months, 9 months? And what are the seeds I can plant now? Because New Year's Day is every day that we get a chance to wake up and do something. Right now, this could be the New Year's for someone. Like, after listening to this episode, hopefully, someone comes, or listening to your content, someone thinks of, like, I want to start that. And again, the question is, why wait? Start now. Start listening, start walking, start looking for things that you enjoy, and start planting those seeds. That all adds up. So where I am today is from plenty of seeds planted before. So don't wait till New Year's.
But
And
it's
my
now,
intention,
it's the 3rd of January as this episode is live, so it's like kind of, it is New Year, Kevin.
yes,
So let's start. Why wait at the 3rd of January? Let's do it now.
yes,
If we waited for so long, let's start today.
exactly, exactly. If you waited, yes, why not start right now? So that being said, in terms of intention, I would, as a coach, my question would be, what do you want to see happen that you know is available to you? What would you like to see happen? And here is the boundaries to this question I want to offer everyone. Have zero judgment, because our own judgment is what caps us from getting what we want. Though, so me wanting to say I want to have an event in 2021, that seems scary to me, but
It's
it's
not
what I want.
possible. Like all the voices.
Yes, exactly. But at the same time, so many other people have done it. Why not me? Right. Though, so there's another question. Why not me? Though, so zero judgment, because once you accept what you want, I guarantee you, your mind will start looking for the opportunities throughout this year to make it happen. And to make that even more a reality, it is the question of why does that matter? It matters to me to see life coaches come together under one roof. It matters to me for them to see that their craft is something to be honored. That's a huge why to me, to where now it's just like, what do I need to do to make that happen? Even if it's a room of 50 people starting out, whatever that looks like. But that is my why. So what do you want and why does it matter? Have no boundaries, have no judgment. And this year could be the best year for the rest of your life in terms of what you get to do, in terms of the joy you get to have, because you gave yourself acceptance of what's possible for you. And I truly believe that is how we all get to that place of just happiness, right? Like I'm doing what I want regardless, versus this is just what life is. So that is my thought perspective to offer people in terms of how to think about the new year and what questions to answer and what they can do moving forward.
And the big vision is, first you have to allow yourself to have a big vision, but then if you work reverse engineer and say, okay, but now next week, ooh, I have to do stuff, or like it's far away is easy because yeah, that's a dream, but like really,
Mhm.
like, oh, that's the work I have to do today. How do you split this big vision up to little pieces that are actions where I feel like I can do that. Like, ooh, I think I don't achieve that, but I can do that. How do you break down the big plan, or how do you suggest that to your clients, or what is your magic sauce for not being overwhelmed by big dreams?
Yes. I mean, it's as you just said, it is breaking it down to its pieces and asking it for support. That is the two pieces. And I have a story to how I actually made this happen. When I became certified as a coach, I remember my coach at the time telling me, what would you like to see happen? And I told them I would love to see myself certified as a coach by the end of the month. I had 1 month, my birthday, that birthday month. It was 3 weeks, and it was so much work to get done that I was like, maybe it was going to take me more than 3 weeks. However, working with a coach, we broke it down step by step, and I just executed on the plan. I was like, okay, okay. And again, the other question is why? I wanted to be certified by the end of February, in my birthday month. That why was, it just started to become bigger in me, that the plan became that much more important to execute across. So any fears that came up in terms of, well, what about this, or what about this, I just pushed them aside or said, don't worry about that, we'll try this, we'll try that. Though, so truly, breaking it down, have someone look it over to see if there's any gaps, and look at the why it matters to you. The more you execute micro steps, the more you feed the why it matters, the more you have energy to get over, oh my God, this is so big, versus 1/10 is done, 2/10 is done, 3/10. Once you see momentum, it becomes contagious. And once it becomes contagious, the energy to complete, to see what you want is possible. And I know this to be true because on the last day of February, when I got certified as a coach, I got the email saying you are now certified as a coach. And the level of energy that I have is like, in terms of executing, there's nothing like that though. So break it down, have a why, look for support to see your gaps, and just start.
But what would people say if I fail?
Now, the thing is, the only thing about failure is if you stop. So for me, if I did not get certified within the month of February in that story, it wouldn't have been a failure. Would have been a lesson in terms of, okay, I see what I need to do. However, it not accomplishing the goal is not a failure. It's a lesson. those. So it is the process of becoming the person who can execute those. So knowing that I've done that before, I can do it again and I can do it better. And that's just the best habit we all can have in 2021, that if I didn't accomplish, what did I learn and how do I do it better? Rinse, repeat though. So I understand a lot of folks is like, I say I'm going to do something, it didn't happen, I'm a failure. That's not the case. But you became something in that process that's not getting acknowledged. So that being said, there's no failures if you keep going after what you want.
I totally am with you with that. Yeah, it's that's so true. And then, but people are so afraid of what other people say about you, or
Hmm.
like make fun of you, or this dream is just too big. Come on, dreamer, or all these comments of people who don't have big visions or are like maybe jealous that you have such a big vision. What do you say, or what is your own experience with comments and the outside voices for accomplishing big things? Because sometimes I think that's really the biggest obstacle is the fear of what other people think.
Yeah, and that makes sense. And I've had that too, listening to people and it triggering my own fear of what I want. And how I deal with that is their words are their words alone. They're not mine. And once you have acceptance around what you want, the goal of acceptance for me is I've already gone through these thoughts of failures, not good enough, and getting over that to do. So someone else coming in who doesn't know me or who does know me who says that's too big, what makes you think you can do that? It's no longer a question of their words because they don't know what I've been through, they don't know what I've overcome. And the biggest thing here, if someone's telling you you can't do something versus asking you, how can I help you? My advice to you is ignore their voice. If someone is telling you you can't do something versus asking you, how can I help you with something? Ignore their voice. Whether it is a partner, a friend, a coworker, that is a boundary right there. Because again, your why. Why does what you want matter? And what I'm doing right now to be in a position where I am right now with what I am doing, that is exactly what I had to do in terms of only the people who want to help me, they get to become within my intimate circle. Those who do not, um, I'll love you from afar, but I have to keep you at a distance. And it's nothing personal, but life is too short to be suppressed by other people's limited thinking only for me to regret. I wish I would have done this. I wish I would have done that and question myself, why didn't I? Though, so yes. So if they're not asking to support you, but they're telling you what you can't do, create the boundary, put their voice aside, get back to your why, and understand again, repeat to yourself, what do I want? What do I want? What do I want? And every time you execute against your plan on that, joy is inevitable.
Joy is inevitable. I like that.
It is.
Yeah. And then for me, that's why my business is called Joy is My Compass. If you have joy, everything else is so easy. Like it's cool to work with you when you're joyful. And that
Yes.
doesn't mean you don't have other emotions or you're not sad or angry sometimes. But if joy is like the compass, it's all the connections you make are beautiful. You meet the right people. It's just a like a vibe you're surfing on, which is just only helpful and good for your soul and everything. Like
100%. I 100% agree. Uh, Being in a place right now of clarity of knowing that I want to support life coaches, being in a place of clarity of knowing it's okay for me to what I want. That's the big piece right there. It's okay for me to want what I want. What I want to do, I want to help life coaches. What do I want to do? I want to listen to the music I want to listen to. What do I want to do? I want to bake my cakes and offer them to people. These micro things,
It's
they
not
might
so
seem
micro. It's
small.
quite the big thing. Come on, don't play that
Well, when I
down.
say like they like we can see them as small things, but they add up though. Like just taking a walk, and someone could say, "What's taking a walk gonna do for me?" Do it for a week and just allow yourself to escape, and then don't do it. You'll see the difference in actually what it makes when you take away like the simple conveniences that we have that can bring us happiness and joy when we do it long enough, though. So 100%. Like I said, in the example of the baker, a joyful baker, you can't help but want to be around, taste their craft, taste their goods. What else do you have to sample? Someone who enjoys their work. It's part of the reason why I started with Brendan Bouchard. I felt he loved his craft, that he taught it so well. I was like, who is this guy? I could tell that he loves what he does. And that's what made me start to follow him. And anyone that I see who truly enjoys their work and find passion in it, I'm going to want to know more about what you're doing. So, knowing that to be true, my question to the audience would be here is like, what do you love to do that people say you are great at this, and do more of that? And doing more of that, life is fun. Life is just so much more fun doing that.
You were talking now about walks and music. How is your day? You know how you live your day. How you what is the saying? How you live one day is how you live your whole life. Or there is a book, I think, a book title. I love that. Like how
Hmm.
you do one day. I don't know if it
How you
was.
do one thing is how you do everything.
Yeah, that's another thing, but then you can transfer it to if you have one day of your life and it's just ideally crafted that you feel at your best. It's how you do your week and month and year.
Hmm.
How is your ideal day going, or what are you doing in an ideal day for yourself and for your
Yeah.
well-being and just
So
everything?
health. Great question there. So health is a big thing for me. Health is my number one value. I think I know health is wealth. If I am not healthy, I can't do the things I want to do. So health is the number one value on my list. So I start my day. I start with drinking 25 ounces of water, taking any supplements, and then I go straight into a 30-minute meditation. And for only a few days since January 6th of 2020, starting January 6th of 2020, I have meditated for 30 minutes every single day, nonstop.
No
So
breaks, no cheating, no
no
nothing.
breaks, no cheating. I have never missed a day since I say that because I it's true. Like I've never missed a day since January. I started a challenge. I didn't stop. It becomes a part of my morning, and I know that my day would be off without it. I plan around it like, okay, I need to go somewhere early in the morning, so I wake up even earlier to get the meditation in. It means that much. Again, health, well-being, that is very
Can you
important.
explain what kind of meditation do you do? Because like sticking to a habit for so long, it really has to help you or impact you, or is so much fun that you don't want to miss out on it. Like what kind of meditation do you do?
So it's just listening to uh it's called hertz frequency music, though. So there's different hertz that of frequencies that you can listen to. I think 396, 528, 953, just different levels of tones you can listen to. And if I'm not in the mood for a tone, I'll go into some real chill music again that brings me down into my heart. I don't have an example. One I can offer right now is listen to a song called Emmanuel by Tony Anderson. Emmanuel by Tony Anderson is a very soft tone to it that just, I think it's a 5 minute song, but there's a 30-minute version. Listen to that. Just close your eyes. And what makes the meditation a habit for me is because I told myself that it's for me. So that's what makes it a habit. Like, if anything else doesn't go my way for the day, I knew that my health was first and my well being, and that I gave myself that 30 minutes of meditation just to sink back into myself. And what I've learned over time is I actually can play out scenarios in my head in meditation. It didn't start this way. Meditation, when I first started, was like for 5 minutes, it was just like, I can't do this. Like 5 minutes was just like mind boggling when I first started. But over time, it just became okay, let me do 5 minutes and 10 minutes. Like I find my own path in terms of what to listen to, what I can listen to, whether it's guided or instrumental. And it just started to grow the belief, the why, that that is a part of my morning that I give to myself. That when I come out of it, then it's like, okay, what's on the plate for the day? Because at minimum, a part of the day was dedicated to me. And that's what makes meditation so uh, easy for me to be consistent on since the beginning of this year. And I don't see myself stopping. So, if I was to offer any tips for anyone for meditation, it would be just start 5 minutes, find a guided meditation or a song, an instrumental song that just has you in a deep reflection, and just work your way up. I think the longest I've done a meditation is 1 hour of meditation. And I know for some that's small for there's other people that do it for 2 hours a day. And I'm just like, wow. So, but that is my habit right there. So meditation, because it's my time, that time is sacred time that I've given myself. And it feels nice to be able to say every day I've dedicated at minimum a half hour solely to my well-being. It's a great feeling to say that.
And you said you can play out scenarios in your head, so you don't have the goal of no thoughts, like empty head. You are seeing things and imagining things and
Yes.
visualizing things.
Yes, I used to, it used to be random thoughts, and it's just like I was thinking that people say that don't worry about that, that's okay, and the thoughts would become random all over the place. What am I thinking about? And I'm thinking to myself, like, how do I control this, or how do I keep it quiet? And eventually, I just stopped trying and to quiet the mind and just allowed. And eventually, the mind, like I assume, because I've become adapted to it, I will think about something and I feel like I can hold it and kind of see where it goes. And I remember when this happened, and it was just like, how did I do that? It was a very interesting thing to come across such a skill. And it's not on command. I don't have like full control over it though, but I do know I have the experience of, if I want to play a scenario out, it's an intentional thought, throw it into the meditation, see what happens. And that just deepens my why to continue to stay consistent with meditation because of the things I want to do this year. I know that starting my day with meditation is only a piece of the puzzle of helping me get there faster and finding the people I can connect with because of the visions and the scenarios. Yeah, it's not going to stop no time soon. And if anyone's been thinking about it, highly recommend just starting, keeping with it, because you never know what consistency offers you.
That's a perfect timing, like 3rd of January. Let's start today. Let's do a challenge, a Kevin's challenge for the whole year,
Yes.
like sticking to meditation. I have some cool guided meditations for my clients, and I can offer the audience. Today is like gift time, like your playlist, and I can
Yes.
throw in a meditation for gaining energy, like golden bubble meditation. I love that, like growing
Oh,
roots into the ground, into the middle of the earth, into a glittery infinite energy pool, and then pull up the gold and through your body and out of your body, and then you're in a golden bubble.
Yes.
and you walk around the whole day with the golden bubble around you. And sometimes I just smile,
Nice.
when you walk through the station or somewhere, it's like, do you guys see my golden bubble? Yeah. So I throw that in, and then we have a present package for this episode and for starting out with meditating. That's perfect. So we're only
Nice.
in your morning, you meditated, and then, like, what are your habits you are sticking to, or like throwing in if you need it to keep your day on track in a good way or in a fun way? You like fun too, so that's
I do.
wonderful.
I do. My fun is creating. My thing is creating. The one I enjoy being in the gym, only just for that. Again, being around other people and seeing what I can create for myself from health. But for fun,
Now, just like
uh,
your day, don't get this distracted by my fun question. Just your day, like meditating is in your, that's like in the plan. If you get up
so
early,
yeah.
you get earlier. But how do you craft your day from there on?
So yeah. So after meditation, there is time in the gym working out. Once I'm done working out, then there is right now virtual schooling for my son. So there's watching him for virtual schooling. And once schooling is done for the day and any support that he needs, I get to work on my material online in terms of connecting with people. I have a very basic setup for my day. Wake up, Kevin's time, workout, time with my son, his virtual schooling, and then I work on my piece online in terms of what ideas do I have with connecting people. One of the ideas I recently came up with was in terms of turning a Facebook group into a global community by listing out every location in the world in terms of the states for people to connect once the pandemic is over. Though, so I love just coming up with ideas for fun when I'm doing the work that I'm doing online. And after that, once I'm done with family, once I'm done with working out all of those things, how I decompress for the day, it's as simple as watching Netflix like anyone else possibly does. So it's just allowing my mind get away from this the computer screen, get away from the work, and just looking at material and just looking for different perspective. And again, I watch with a different eye these days in terms of watching a show and pulling out these aha moments. And that's a basic day for me. There's I see myself as very simple when it comes to this, but yet at the same time, simple is good. There's no complications to it. Simple really is good. I don't have to go to a bunch of meetings. I don't have to meet like all these different deadlines or stuff like that. Like life is just truly simple. And I couldn't imagine if every like half hour was like notched in with work, something like that. It might be great from an income perspective or people or anything like that, but wake up, Kevin's time, family's time, work time, relax time, and rinse and repeat. And I do not take that for granted. One day I won't have that. So I'm enjoying the simplicity of my day now before it changes and I don't have this anymore. I will always meditate. No, that
That's
is for
so cool.
sure. That was for sure. But that is my day. It's simple. Um, and I can only imagine for anyone else, it's like how freeing would it be to just have your day simplified? Yeah. So that's pretty much my day.
Yeah, before the pandemic, you were like on the road for so many days per year, and now it's like, Kevin, sorry, stay at home. It's
Yeah.
different, and it's different, but in this simplicity and this calmness, I think there's a beauty in that. I really enjoy that I don't have to figure out which meetings or parties I'm going. I'm just not going anywhere.
Indeed.
Like,
Yes.
it's, I love being around people. I mean, I'm a super extrovert, but I'm also like more and more introvert as I grow older, I think. Like, I so enjoy
Really?
my office and my me time. And of course, like talking to you, I'm not alone. I'm like now connected with the other side of the big pond. How cool is that? But
Hmm.
like, yeah, like I don't need a big team around me to feel happy. I'm super grateful that I can make decisions like with you. I don't have to ask anybody or fill out a form, or it's like
Yes.
I can decide and we can decide together. Like today is a good day for recording. And yeah, all the social stuff around. I mean, Switzerland is not so locked down like you are, I guess.
Hmm.
But even yeah, it's just not so many gatherings are happening than before. And before I was very, I always choose where I go very intentionally. Like I don't
Hmm.
go here, but I go here. Like it's just
Hmm.
I know where I want to go. And now it's just me and my girl, or if my husband is home, it's like, yeah, I love that family only time. I hope it's not for 2 3 years, like
Oh.
no, come on, let's forget about that. But like enjoy the time you have and how it is now
Yes.
there's a beauty in that, like not complaining and
Hmm.
fussing around with things we can't change, and then we take it how it is unfolding. How do you deal with like you want to do an event, but maybe we don't do events this year or like 2021, or but they're planning an Olympic in Japan, it's like, yeah, it has to evolve over the
Hmm.
situation now. But we don't
I
know.
Yeah, we don't. And
But we never know.
but no events for 2021, or no big events, or just from a general standpoint, uh like what would I do? I don't know yet. I don't. I would probably still find ways to connect with people. I'd probably get deeper into technology. Just the other day, I used Facebook's Messenger room, and it was a very cool feature, though, in terms of a virtual happy hour, similar to Zoom, but there was something different about it, though. So, intentional, being intentional in terms of maybe having just 10 people on camera, half hour conversation, and just the energy of people, at least on the camera like this, um, to plant that seed of building out virtual relationships into something more, so that when lockdown is over, like meeting these folks, it's like meeting up with family you just haven't seen for a very long time, though. So I've been kind of resistant to the technology. However, again, there's opportunity in everything. I just don't have a why. What do I want? I want to connect with people. Why? Yet I haven't looked at the avenue deeply enough in terms of online. And again, using my own thing, I said I should probably take a look at it because of what just happened the other day of using the Facebook Messenger, for example, to connect with people. And it was fun. It felt good. Like right now, it feels good just to have a conversation, and especially when you get other people. And again, I love watching people. I love just the dynamics of people laughing together, coming up with things together, sitting back. There's something, to me, there's just a beauty about that. And maybe because I feel the world probably needs more joy, more empathy, more compassion, um, because we're so busy doing. Where is the time for just being, for just being a human being? That's the reason why I'll probably never give up meditation as a first part of my morning, because outside of all the doing, I need that time now to connect with the being of myself, though. So if nothing's going to happen in 2021, meetings, I get resourceful. Start using more online, start saying people, hey, I'm going to have a little happy hour. Bring your coffee, bring your tea. Let's have a chat. Let's do this more often. And just find gratitude that we got to do this, because when we're so busy, we didn't do this. Now that we're kind of at home, we get to do this. and see what happens from that.
Yeah, and that's the only thing. Like, if you would, you could complain all day long and cry and have some tantrums about the situation, but it's not gonna change the situation.
No.
But did you attend a big online event this year? Because I was at Author Advantage Live of the self-publishing school, and
Mhm.
I wouldn't have gone there physically if everything would be normal, but like online for $97, a 3-day event. It was really, really good event, and they had 800 people, and with Zoom rooms and breakout rooms. So the technology is amazing. Like, now, do you know when Brandon Bouchard said 5 minutes, group of five, 1 minute each, bam, and then on Zoom it was like pop, 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 and then we were five people
Mhm.
talking, and then your session will end in 30 seconds, zoom, and then we were in the big
Wow.
panel again. It's amazing. It felt really, really real. And I was in Switzerland. Time was hard. I couldn't stay awake for the last two sessions. I'm such an early, I go to bed so early, so it was like, no, I have to sleep now. But it was amazing as an experience. And Tony Robbins does a live thing too. You
Yes,
should.
I have not experienced UPW virtual. I'll potentially look at it maybe next year in term because I'm working on my own thing right now, and to kind of be on screen for Tony's time, for how long and how deep he brings you into his world and his topic, is a long time. And I'd have to just make time for that, though. I guess the difference is being home on your computer versus I would probably change up my experience. I would rent out an Airbnb, have like two or three other people. Let's cook together. Let's watch together on the big screen. Let's share our insights. And then afterwards, just to kind of make it like pay-per-view or something like that. That to me would be fun. And I've been thinking about that. And maybe I'll just do that. Like rent an Airbnb, run the feed for the live event, and again, being safe, but still connecting with people and still getting the joy that comes at being at these live events that we're missing out on so far.
Yeah, and I remember like you were renting this big house with all your friends in
Hmm.
California and did all the cool gadgets. And you made from far away, we were like, oh, that's the cool gang. And then the cool gang invited me. That felt so good. No, I mean, you created something beautiful there. So I have no doubts for your event you're planning. Just the circumstances have to align for having it. Yeah, I just watched, I love Netflix too, and yesterday I really said it's a Sunday off and I can watch Netflix, and I watched Love Actually for the 5,000th time. And this the beginning scene with all the hugs, and then in the end I'm like, oh no, that's not really different. At the airport you don't see so many hugs.
Oh,
It's yeah, it's impressive, I think. If Yeah, but I like change and I like challenges, and we're safe, so what would we complain about? Yeah, like, and we can connect like this, and there's so many good things happening, so let's create an amazing year for ourselves and all the people around us.
yes. And I guess, we've been through things like this as history has told us and made it through clearly to be where we are at now, though. So if we've been able to get through stuff like this in our past with less technology, less advancement in understanding our bodies, our health, our well being, I have no doubt that life will not just get back to what it was, but get back to a different place and possibly a higher place of gratitude of what we've missed out on, and just the innovations of what people will probably come up with, like okay, it's been too long since I've been around family, friends, gatherings, going to the restaurant, simply going to get my hair cut or a manicure or anything like that, a simple coffee. I think there's going to be a surge of awareness and gratitude uh, for looking for joy in life.
I think so too. All the canceled things are now not normal anymore. It's like, oh wow, yeah, they took away this event. You know, in winter, I have to check if they, but I don't think they run it. You know, making candles with the string and you put it into the wax, the hot wax, and you let it dry. And again, in that's a tradition we do in Switzerland all over the place with
Hmm.
bee wax or colorful. So making candles is like a December tradition. And it's just like normal. We go making some candles, and now it's not taking place. So, yeah, that was even more special now last year. You know, like appreciate what you have
Yes.
in the now because you don't know how it will change in the future. I really like to focus on that. It's just not, yeah, it's special, and if you appreciate it, you enjoy it even more,
Hmm.
and then it's a memory nobody can take away from you, and it enriches yourself, all your memories and all the things you've done and invented and created is just making life better bit by bit.
Yes. 100% agree. 100%. And I'm just thinking about all the experiences that I've had that I don't get to have this year. I'm appreciative of what happened in terms of what I've gotten to do, but I also have a deeper appreciation for what I have done. And again, I come back to thinking now, I'm so glad I did what I wanted to do back then, knowing now that if it was taken away this year, that I'd have regret like, oh, I wish I would have gone to the event. I wouldn't have met you if I didn't go to the event, for an example, though. So, I'm just actually in more appreciation for I wanted to go to an event. I went to an event. I met amazing people. I made amazing memories. And if and again, I'm just thinking, what if I didn't have done that, though? So I guess now, as I look at this time that we are in, my own personal question, what do I get to do? What do I want that I'll say the same thing a year or two from now? I'm so glad I did that. I'm so glad I took the opportunity to talk to more people online or bring people together for an online event or as simple as continue meditating, went for a walk, took my son out, things of that. Like I do my best not to take for granted the simplicities that life has to offer.
Yeah, and like now travel is not possible and the events don't take place. I mean, I had these tickets for Brandon Bouchard because I bought several courses all the time, like your tuition for the event. And I was like, my child is big enough that I can stay away for this long and go away so far, and then everything worked out. And do you remember my friend Madalena from California? She I just interviewed her now too, and she will be on in December. And yeah, we were there together. We had an amazing time. And then Bo Eason offered his event, and Brandon
Oh,
packaged this with his course. So we went to Bo Eason's live event a year
okay.
later. It's like, oh, I'm so grateful that I didn't chicken out about no, I don't like flying, and I don't like, like me, and yeah, all the people I met there is just a blessing. And yeah, I'm even more grateful now for all these hugs we had there. That's
Hmm.
so special now.
It is. Yeah, I miss those hugs out there. Uh,
Me too.
and I'm sure anyone who probably like don't hug me at these events. Like, is he one of those hugging events? And now I have a feeling people will appreciate that moving forward. Like, do you want to go to a hugging event? Yes, I do. I want to go to an event where we get to hug each other. It's been too long since I felt safe to a hug, and now that we get to a point to eventually sooner than later, like coming back together in events, that more people will appreciate just that human connection. Because again, why not? Right? Why not though? So, but yeah, I definitely miss that as well.
Yeah, we are both huggers, but I know some people are such, it's such a relief that no hugging. Yeah, for me, like I don't have to hug people I don't want to hug. And I know in America, in Switzerland, we're more reserved. We do the
Oh,
three kisses on the cheek or in the air, and even that now it's not possible. So I know a lot of people who are super happy that it's no distance, like hello, Japanese way, and in
mhm.
Japan that's the normal thing. You wouldn't touch another person you don't know. So it's so interesting, and I'm definitely the American way. I love that, like big bear hugs. I remember your hug in in California for sure.
Nice. It's not the first time I've heard that said, that like you give these hugs, and I guess it's the same thing. What's the ripple effect? What is that ripple effect experience though? So I'm a big fan of hugs. I'm a big fan of those who actually love to give hugs, because when I get great hugs, when I get them, I feel myself decompressing. I just, there's just something that just, I guess, relieves my nervous system. It's just like, okay, and it's just like you feel good right after that though. So it's amazing that there are some that are reserved to human touch in that nature, but such is life. Such is
Yeah, and
life.
it's I mean it's scientifically proven that it's super healthy to have this connection in this way. And
I'm
I
a total.
always imagine, it's like heart to heart. I love that. And my Mika, my kid, and I, we have this, we say when we're far away, even America, we have this heartstring and it's rainbowish, golden, glitterish. And it's like, the
Ah,
cord
nice.
of a vacuum where you can sip it back. If you come close, it's not tingling around. It's like as short as when you touch, but it grows so long, like over the Atlantic, no problem. We say heartstring, heartstring, and I love that. I feel always when I hug, it's like, oh, heartstring is now very short, and heart are together. I love that imagination.
It's a very imaginative way of looking at things in terms of connecting hearts through hugs and seeing that rainbow and just extending that energy. I like that. I like
Yeah,
that.
I always like you and me now on this planet. I see the the, the round Earth in front of me with this glittery cord, like from America to Switzerland. I love it. That makes me so happy that this is possible. When I met my husband 20 years ago in Japan, we didn't have Skype or FaceTime. We had to phone on the phone. It was just not available. And this would cost, I don't know how many thousands of dollars per minute because you needed a whole truckload of equipment. And now it's like one
Yeah.
computer and one internet connection, and it's just possible. How cool is that?
And that right there, just to break it down, like you just said, should make it more in terms of, let me use more of this, because what if this was all taken away tomorrow because of whatever, another, we'll just say a technical crisis, and online chat was removed? How much regret would we have? Like, I should have used the feature more. I should have been intentional connecting with people that I thought I had time to connect with later. There is no later, there is right now.
Right
And
now.
create the experience that the future you will be grateful for. Just like we're talking about right here. I'm so happy I went to the event. I'm so happy I created those memories. They mean even more, even in this time and age. Who knows what will happen tomorrow, next year, beyond? But what we have, why not use it to the best of our abilities? So, in just talking this through, I find myself now thinking, how many more conversations online can I have just to have fun with it though. So that is now my homework assignment based off our conversation here, to just have more intentional conversations online and create memories and plant those seeds. And one day, hug those people that I got the chance to talk with eventually online. Great to finally meet you in person.
What a beautiful way of rounding up our amazing conversation. Thank you so much, Kevin, for your time and energy and wisdom. I always say that to my guests because it's just true. It's amazing to spend the time like this. It was a big, big pleasure. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you
And
for
I
having me.
wait for your playlist, and I'll we put in this meditation challenge, Kevin challenge for meditating daily in 2021.
2021.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you. Bye bye.
All
Have
right.
an amazing day. Bye bye. If you liked this episode, I look forward to a review from you, and it would be so nice to hear from you what you liked best and what is your takeaway, and maybe it sparked some idea. You really are surprised to have this idea now, and you can go and create joy for your life. And please tell me about it. I would love to hear from you. My contact details, you will find them in the show notes. Have a wonderful day.